Hi, in this session we are going to talk about 7 shifts that will change your life. And in this, the first shift is defining your goals, knowing what you want to achieve, what is success to you. Because for everyone, success is different. For someone, it could be having £1 million in the account, or for another person it could be 100 million in the account, or it could be not just wealth but happiness as well. It could be health, wealth and happiness. So it's a lot of things. So you need to understand what your goal is in order to achieve it, because without a clear goal you can't achieve. It's like you can't hit a target that you can't see, or when you don't know where you're going, any road will take you there. So you have to have a destination. You have to know where you are going. For example, you get in the car, and if you know where you're going, even if there is a roadblock, you know where to turn, how to go, because now you know where you're going. But if you didn't have the destination, then you wouldn't know where to go. You will just take any road and you'll end up anywhere. So you don't want that to happen. So you want to know where you're going. And when it comes to goals, write them down. It's not just, okay, this is my goal, but write them down so it becomes a firm goal, but also become more descriptive. Write them down in detail. If it's, for example, if it's 100 million, getting 100 million or earning 100 million, you need to write them down in present tense as well as why you want that sort of money, because the why is more important than the how, because the how becomes easy when you know the why. So that's why it's good to write them down and go through them every single day if you can. Maybe print it or write it in a place and leave it in a place where you can see it every single day. Say it aloud. In Think and Grow Rich, they say you have to read your goal every single day, in the morning as well as in the evening. What happens is it engraves into your body, and then whenever you're thinking, whenever you're making a decision, it becomes a part of your decision making process. So you will not make a decision against your goals. So it will be aligned with your goals and it'll drive you towards it. And when you're sleeping, your subconscious will work on achieving your goals. So it's a lot in there. It's not just writing a goal or thinking about a goal. So the why is very important, because sometimes it can go sideways. It's not going to be all the time it's going to be a walk in the park. It might go wrong, but as long as you have a clear target, you know what your mission is, what you're trying to achieve, then you can get there. The stronger the why is, the easier it gets, because the reasons come first, answers come second, as Tony Robbins says. So you need to have a strong reason, because if the reason is strong enough, it'll somehow get you there. So I hope you will get clear reasons. Write as many reasons as possible. It doesn't have to be one reason. It could be because sometimes you might work harder, or you might do more for others than you might do for yourself. So these things matter a lot. So write them down so you have a clear goal and you have it in writing, so you can refer to it again and again. You don't have to stick to the same goal. You can change the goal as you go along, but make sure you have goals written down and make sure you're clear about your goals, because that's the first thing. And once you have them written down, you will have a clear focus and you can focus everything on your achieving your goals. Let's go to the second shift. Be productive, not busy. It's very important to be productive than busy, because sometimes you think, okay, I'm doing so much work, I'm working hard, so I should get results. But it's not about working hard, it's about what you do. It's Jim Rohn says, it's not the hours you put in, it's what you put in the hours that matters. So you need to make sure that you put the right work into it. And then another thing is, you need to make sure you are doing what is necessary to move the needle, because sometimes you work and work and work. I'm sure you know a lot of people who work so hard but they achieve nothing in their life. It's not the working hard, it's being effective and doing the right thing that counts. Sometimes it could be an uncomfortable thing. It could be something that you don't like to do. It could be selling. It could be marketing that you're uncomfortable with. I don't know how to market. I don't know how to sell. Then you should be working harder on how to market, how to sell. So again, if you're uncomfortable in front of a camera, you should be working harder on doing more videos so that you become comfortable. So that's also very important. You put more effort, but you put effort towards moving the needle towards what should be done rather than just doing something to keep you busy. So that's also very important. I hope you got the idea clear. Like Jim Rohn used to say, don't mistake movement for achievement. Just because you're moving, you're doing, it feels like you're really busy doesn't mean that it's an achievement. So that's why it's very important to make sure you're doing the right thing. You are moving towards your goals. You're doing what is necessary to achieve your goals. So that's why you need to know the goals. Once you know the goals, you can plan towards achieving the goals, but make sure you do every single step correctly in order to achieve the goal, not do just what you're comfortable with. Say for example, you're very comfortable with editing stuff, you just keep editing stuff. Or if you're very comfortable with creating logos or creating thumbnails, so now you're spending a lot of time on creating thumbnails, but that's not the idea. You need to make sure you move the needle forward. So that's the idea of the second: be productive, not be busy. The third one is small shifts, big results. You need to understand this as well. You don't have to change everything at once. It's about small shifts. They say you don't need to become really good at anything. You just become better in every aspect that you do. When you're talking, you talk better. When you're writing an email, you write it better. When you're doing a video, you do it better. So you do small shifts, but in the long run, in the long term, it'll build up to a cumulative effect, so that you get better results that way. And you don't need to do everything. It's like Kaizen. You do it in small pieces, one thing at a time, one task at a time, one grain of sand at a time. So this is also very important. Tony Robbins actually talks about this when he was trained in golf. His golf trainer was saying, oh, you're only 1 millimeter off. But Tony was like, no, it was about 100 yards off. No, it's if you change where you are hitting on the ball just 1 millimeter, it will change the direction and it will be accurate. So it's things like that. How do you run a 100-mile marathon? One step at a time. Same way, you just change one thing at a time. Focus on what you're doing and then do that the best way you can and keep improving. So constant improvement, that's how you do this. So that's also very important. Small shifts for big results. The next thing you need to understand is money isn't evil. So as long as you know this, as long as you believe in this, then you can achieve a lot of good results and a lot of wealth. Because some people tend to believe that, oh, I don't need money, I just need to achieve success. I don't need a lot of money. Money is bad. If you have this mentality, it's going to be hard, because you're going to find it hard to ask for money, ask people to pay you. But you have to understand that money is not evil. It's like you're saying, okay, if we ask you what do you need, what do you want to achieve? I want to be happy. I want to pay for my parents' house. I want to buy a lot of things for my kids. I want to give away a lot of money to other people or help others, but I don't want money. It doesn't make sense if you say that, because for you to achieve those targets, achieve those goals, you need money. You can't do them without money. So you are doing it for the right purpose. As long as you're doing it for the right purpose, you shouldn't be ashamed of getting money or building a lot of wealth for yourself. It's not about how much you earn, it's about how you become happy and what you do with the money you earn. If someone says money can't buy happiness, that means you just haven't given enough away. So that's what it means. So the more you give to others, you will feel the need of money, because if you have given, it doesn't matter what you have given, how much you have given, or how you've helped others. But if you spent on something, even on a meal for a hungry person, and if you look at that person becoming really happy by getting that meal and having enjoying that meal, you want to give more and more. If you've given education to a kid who couldn't afford education, he'll be really happy, and the look in his eyes or her eyes will make you want to do more and more. So these are very important things that you need to know. So without money you can't do a lot. Imagine if you can help 100 people with the money you have, and you help the 100 people, and then you discover that, oh, I want to help more. The more money you have, the more people you can help. So that's why it's very important to have money. And money is a byproduct. Money is not what you're going after. Money comes as a byproduct of what you have given to the others because of the value. The more value you provide, the more money you will get. So the better service you provide, the better value you give to the others, then you will get more money in the process. So the money is a byproduct. So you need to know that as well. Don't think about money as a bad thing. As long as you understand that money is necessary for all these things and you can help others with money, then you will succeed in life. The fifth shift is stop overthinking. If you think too much, if you try to do everything, if you want to, say you're doing a video and you want it to be perfect, you're looking at everything, you're checking everything, then it's very hard for you to progress, because you are worrying too much about what's going to happen more than checking what will happen by putting it out. So it's very important not to overthink. As Tony Robbins says, complexity is the enemy of execution. So if you make things complicated, if you don't progress, it will make it difficult for you to achieve something. So you need to make sure you do something, you put it out, you see what happens and change it according to the feedback, according to what happens, rather than just do everything the best you can. I'm sure you've heard the parable of the pottery class, where they give students, they group the students into two groups, and then one group, they let the students make one pot for the whole month. So they focus on making one pot the whole month, and the other students, they give a pot a day. They make one pot every single day, and by the end of the month they find out that all the good pots came from the group that they made more pots, 30 pots within the month, because they become better in the process. So if you take more time, you're just going to find out that it doesn't work, or work after a long period of time, and you might not be able to fully find out either. So it's always better to try and fail more than trying to do it perfectly. Sometimes we want to figure everything out before we want to do something. There are people like that, but if you try to figure everything out, you might not be able to figure everything out. So then that means you won't be able to do it. So it's better to do with the knowledge you have and see the outcome from that. There is also saying, if you want to succeed faster, you need to fail faster. So if you double the speed of failure, you double the speed of becoming successful. So you need to make sure you get this experience first. So for you to get the experience, you need to fail fast, or you need to keep going and find out in the process. And also don't overanalyze what you're doing, just keep going. The next shift is don't settle for less. try to do the best you can when you're working on something. Do the best you can. Doesn't mean you have to get all the details to do it, but when you're doing something, if you're talking, or if you are on the camera, or if you're taking a video, doing a video, do the best you can. And in the life as well, do the most you can, achieve the most you can. Don't settle for less. Otherwise, imagine you're in the on the deathbed, and say you're dead, and now people are talking about you, and they don't know that you can hear it, but they're saying, oh, he was okay, he did okay. Do you want to hear that? Or do you want them to say, oh, he did exceptionally well, he did the best he could, he treated his wife like a queen, he was really good to his kids, and he achieved whatever he could, whatever he did the best. So that's what you want to hear, right? So imagine that happens. So you need to try and do the maximum you can and achieve the maximum, because you can't go back once that you get to that state. Imagine you go to, now you're with God, and now God is asking you, oh, how was it? How did you manage? You're like, oh, it was okay, I did okay, the life was okay. Or do you want to say, oh, I did great and I did my best, and so on and so forth? Because say, for example, the God is going to show you, this is what you could have done, this is what you could have been, you could have achieved. Imagine if the God was to show you, do you want to achieve less than what you could have achieved? And then you look at that and you're thinking, oh my God, I could have done this, I could have achieved this, and you want to go back. You'll be like, oh no, can I go back? And then imagine you have to come back, and then you will do it right. But you don't have to come back, you're already here. So you can do it correctly, and you can achieve success that way. So imagine that way, keep it in mind, do the best you can, don't settle for less. Whatever you're doing, focus on that, do the best you can, and you'll get there. The last shift is becoming a part or something that is bigger than yourself. So it's like getting into a group of people, or it could be a mastermind group, it could be an influential group, it could be a group of friends with the same attitude, same mindset, same goals in the mind. So it's like that, but it has to be bigger than you, so that it will drive forward, and it will give you more motivation and influence towards achieving your goals, rather than, in the normal world, people will be like distracting you, and they'll be like, no, this is impossible, no one can achieve that target. But they don't know you. Your targets and goals are different from their goals, because they can't achieve, they can't think about that. Doesn't mean you can't achieve that. So you need to hang around with people who are winners. The more you hang around with winners and who have achieved, they will drive you, they will want you to succeed as well. People who have succeeded, they want others to succeed. People who have failed doesn't want the others to succeed. That's the problem. So you have to make sure who you hang around with are the people who are better than you, who will take you to where you want to go and help you, and you can learn a lot from them as well by hanging around. They have positive energy, which is good for you, and it's always they always share good things with you. For example, this was something that I got it from the inner circle, from the mastermind. This video was done by Dean Graziosi. I thank him for doing this. I learned a lot. Now I'm sharing this with you because I think this is useful as well for others. So things like that, these are not my ideas, these are things that I learned from others, but they will share like I am sharing now. So you should be, if you think this is good, you will share with people who you interact with. So similarly, if you hang around with the right people, and these people are different from the other people who are negative thinkers. So that's why you need to hang around with the positive thinkers who have a great mind, who have a great goal, and they will drive you towards your goal.